you?
No.
I didn't use the word,
No,
did I?
You mocked the word.
Oh, I did?
You were
I'm
like,
sorry. I hope I didn't insult
not
you.
at all.
The drama around Robyn Brown never starts slow. It explodes. Imagine this. An RV door slams, tension already crackling in the air, and Robyn, in a fit of anger, lashes out and kicks the family dog. That single, shocking moment paints the picture of everything that followed: chaos, control, and an unraveling family dynamic that no longer hides behind polite smiles. From there, every incident became another page in a twisted play of manipulation, hypocrisy, and raw dysfunction. What followed was Robyn's constant strategy of rewriting reality itself. When Christine voiced her long-standing frustrations and the desire to leave, Robyn publicly acted blindsided, feigning shock, while simultaneously admitting she knew Christine had been planning this for years. It was a textbook example of gaslighting, invalidating Christine's truth, painting it as a delusion, while still weaponizing her private thoughts against her. And the cruelty didn't stop there. Robyn dismissed Christine's pain as illusions, shattering her credibility, and then bizarrely responded to accusations Christine never even made, manufacturing drama to center herself as both victim and spokesperson. What's more disturbing is the hypocrisy layered into every move. Robyn routinely claimed she and Kody barely spoke, but in every heated moment, she positioned herself as his mouthpiece. She shut down discussions about relocating to Utah with cutting hostility, branded holidays with venom when she refused to participate, and during Christmas, chose absence only to return later with toxic commentary. These weren't accidents. They were calculated control tactics designed to fracture bonds and isolate her role as the untouchable legal wife. But the darkest revelations came through Robyn's parenting behavior. Truly, a young child was neglected, her basic needs like cereal denied, and in a chilling moment, Robyn openly discussed stripping her children's biological father of parental rights, right in front of them. This wasn't just insensitivity, it was a form of psychological warfare, wielding adult legal battles as weapons in front of children too young to defend themselves. Even grief was weaponized. When Janelle's mother passed, Robyn bypassed compassion, choosing instead to redirect the moment back to her own supposed losses. Every tragedy, every family moment, twisted back into her orbit. The veil of sisterhood fell apart in painfully public ways. Robyn pre-selected her wedding dress while still staging shopping trips with the other wives. Another performance, another deception. With Meri, even something as trivial as table decor spiraled into rage, Robyn reportedly throwing a chair during a fight over dinner arrangements. And in Aspyn's wedding, she struck again, undermining joy with a dismissive princess remark, cloaking her manipulation under the guise of budget concerns. If Robyn's presence embodied manipulation and control, Tony's journey offered a stark contrast. At first, Tony became infamous for his awkward humor, ill-timed jokes, and his refusal to translate during tense family dinners, making awkward situations even worse. His antics felt grating, almost disrespectful, amplifying discomfort in a family already cracking at the seams. But unlike Robyn, Tony changed. Over time, his rough edges softened into responsibility. He became a steady partner to Kody, a hands-on father, and, most importantly, a source of emotional support in a family riddled with betrayal and division. Where Robyn thrived on creating fractures, Tony slowly stitched bonds. Seen in sequence, these events tell a story of a family at war with itself. Robyn's trail is marked by gaslighting, hypocrisy, and emotional sabotage, her pattern always to control narratives, to turn genuine pain into her own drama, to push loyalty tests no one asked for. Meanwhile, Tony and Kody's arc runs counter. Messy beginnings but eventual grounding, a reminder that growth is possible even in chaos. The timeline is clear. Small manipulations snowballed into large-scale explosions, from Christmas betrayals to weddings poisoned with snide remarks, from a child ignored at the breakfast table to a grieving widow overshadowed. And all along, Robyn's fingerprints are everywhere, hidden behind claims of innocence, but written in every fight, every tear, every silence. The Brown family saga is no longer just reality TV. It's a study in human psychology, manipulation, and survival. And the question that lingers, the one viewers can't shake even after the credits roll, is this: how much destruction can be masked as love before the entire structure collapses? The Browns aren't just fractured. They're a cautionary tale of what happens when power, deception, and control are left unchecked. And the story, far from over, promises even darker turns ahead. Every shocking moment forces the same haunting question: how many warnings can a family ignore before the collapse becomes permanent? Truly's frail body in the hospital bed, Kody flaunting expensive cars, sons cast out of the home, Dayton quietly living in a trailer, wives left in financial limbo. These aren't separate incidents. They are chapters in a single story, a story about neglect hidden under the mask of love, control masquerading as leadership, and betrayal disguised as protection. And as the story moves forward, the Browns are no longer a symbol of polygamy. They've become a cautionary tale of what happens when image consumes reality, when power devours compassion, and when the people who need protection most are the ones left behind. The wedding that was supposed to be a celebration of love and unity turned into yet another battlefield inside the Brown family. When Aspyn prepared for her big day, what should have been an uplifting moment quickly exposed the cracks in the so-called sister-wives unity. At the heart of it all was Robyn, calculating, controlling, and desperate to tighten the budget in a way that left Aspyn feeling belittled. Instead of celebrating the bride's dream, Robyn sneered, calling her a princess, as though Aspyn's wish for a magical wedding was nothing more than entitlement. That one word, princess, was not just casual shade, it was a dagger. It carried years of undertones. The accusation that the other wives' children were spoiled, while Robyn's sacrifices were supposedly ignored. It was a clear attempt at control, using guilt and shaming to gaslight Aspyn into shrinking her vision. But the story didn't end there. Against this toxic backdrop, Meri, often portrayed as distant and defensive, stepped into an unexpected role. Meri took her wallet, her pride, and her will, and said, "Enough." She backed Aspyn's dream financially, proving that even in a fractured family, loyalty to the children sometimes rises above rivalry. Meri's move was more than just writing a check. It was rebellion. It was a rejection of Robyn's monopoly over Kody's time and resources. It was Meri saying, "This child deserves her day, and no amount of manipulation will stop it." That single act highlighted a deeper truth. Financial power in this family wasn't just about money. It was about who held influence, who could make or break dreams. And in this moment, Meri reclaimed some of the influence she had long been stripped of. From there, the timeline of tensions becomes clear. In the early days, Robyn and Christine performed the dance of fake friendship. They posed as allies, smiling for the cameras, sharing surface-level solidarity. But underneath, there was no trust. Christine had always sensed the looming threat. Robyn's presence was not temporary, not humble, but a permanent claim on Kody's time and heart. Christine's instincts told her that Robyn wasn't here to blend into the family, she was here to dominate it. Every hour Kody spent with Robyn, every holiday decision Robyn swayed, every argument that ended in Robyn's tears only reinforced Christine's fears. Robyn's tears weren't weakness, they were weapons, tools of manipulation that bent Kody to her will. What Christine saw as a warning sign was often dismissed as jealousy, but history has proven Christine's instincts weren't paranoia, they were prophecy. The wedding drama was just one flare-up in a long pattern of control, gaslighting, and favoritism. Robyn's attempt to downplay Aspyn's wedding wasn't an isolated incident. It was a tactic, the same one she had perfected with Kody. Minimize others' needs, inflate her own, and paint herself as the misunderstood victim. The strategy worked on Kody, but Meri's intervention showed it wouldn't work on everyone. That moment drew a line in the sand. Robyn may hold Kody's heart, but she could not dictate every outcome. Christine, watching all of this, surely felt vindicated. The exact scenario she feared, the diminishing of her children's importance in favor of Robyn's influence, was unfolding in real time. The narrative escalates when we look at how this single event reflects the broader implosion of the Brown family. What was once a united front for the cameras is now a tangled mess of resentment and unspoken betrayal. The wedding incident exposed the hypocrisy of family first, a slogan Kody and Robyn parroted while their actions screamed self-interest. The so-called shared values were smoke and mirrors. Behind them lurked favoritism, manipulation, and financial control. And while Robyn tried to control the optics by cutting corners, Meri's act of defiance pulled the curtain back. It revealed that not all the wives were willing to let Robyn hold the reins. The moment that still sends chills through viewers came when young Truly Brown's life hung in the balance, her small body shutting down from dehydration that spiraled into kidney failure. What began as what doctors brushed off as a simple flu turned into a nightmare of medical neglect, desperation, and family dysfunction. Truly's illness was not just a medical crisis. It was a mirror reflecting the cracks in the Brown family system. In the absence of consistent parental care, the weight of responsibility fell unfairly on her teenage sisters, who were left scrambling to keep her safe, while adults argued, postured, and performed for cameras. The very image of a child's fragile body in the ER contrasted brutally with the supposed family values Kody and Robyn claimed to uphold, exposing a harsh truth. Appearances mattered more to them than action. This is where the pattern becomes undeniable. Truly's brush with death wasn't an isolated failure, it was symptomatic of a larger disease that spread across the Brown household: neglect fueled by ego, image obsession, and distorted priorities. The desperate trip to the emergency room was the climax of a series of bad choices that revealed a family where real caregiving was outsourced to kids barely older than the patient, while adults drowned in drama and self-preservation. The medical misdiagnosis might have been an accident, but the failure to protect Truly before she reached that point was no accident at all. It was the direct consequence of a household run on chaos and misplaced values. And at the center of those misplaced values was Kody Brown, the self-appointed patriarch who claimed his mission was to lead and protect, but whose actions betrayed a man consumed not by love, but by vanity. Kody's greatest fear wasn't poverty itself, it was being seen as poor. The obsession with optics over substance drove decision after decision, poisoning the very financial structure of the family. He wasn't building long-term security, he was building an illusion. A $2 million home, flashy cars, extravagant spending, all while other wives and children were left scrambling, piecing together survival in modest circumstances. For Kody, the image of success was more important than the reality of stability. It was financial gaslighting at its peak, presenting the family as thriving while the foundation crumbled beneath their feet. This contradiction became most glaring during the pandemic, when Kody weaponized safety protocols not as a health strategy, but as a tool of control. Gabe and Garrison, Janelle's sons, were cast out of the home for supposedly breaking his rules, branded as threats to his health. Yet under the same roof, Robyn's adult children stayed comfortably, shielded by his protection. The hypocrisy was deafening. His rules were never about fairness or logic. They were about power and favoritism, protecting one branch of the family while punishing another. It was another form of manipulation, another mask of authority hiding the reality of division. The whispers about Dayton, Robyn's son, living in a trailer while resources were funneled elsewhere, added to the confusion. Kody claimed to be spreading himself thin, yet money and attention consistently flowed in one direction, toward Robyn and her children. The imbalance wasn't speculation, it was a pattern that revealed itself again and again. While Christine and Janelle carried the weight of providing, while Meri stood sidelined, Robyn and her household remained untouched, beneficiaries of Kody's distorted financial favoritism. The betrayal wasn't just marital, it was systemic, a redistribution of love, attention, and money that left the rest of the family bankrupt emotionally and practically. What makes all of this so devastating is the way it intertwines. Truly's near-fatal illness showed the neglect of children in a household where appearances mattered more than safety. Kody's financial choices revealed a man more concerned with keeping up the illusion of wealth than securing the actual future of his many children. His selective enforcement of rules exposed the hypocrisy of a leader who ruled not with fairness, but with favoritism. Each event builds on the last, stacking into a tower of dysfunction where at every level someone suffers, usually the most vulnerable. The timeline is brutal. A child almost dying because parents weren't watching closely enough, a father bragging about expensive purchases while other parts of the family went without, sons punished for fabricated reasons while others were coddled, grief overshadowed by self-absorption, and resources consistently redirected to feed one corner of the family while the rest splintered. The Browns weren't collapsing because of external enemies. They were collapsing from within, under the weight of ego, hypocrisy, and betrayal. This wasn't just about a wedding, it was about power. A battle over whose children mattered, whose voice carried weight, and whose sacrifices would be remembered. The symbolism was sharp. Robyn calling Aspyn princess wasn't just an insult, it was a declaration. A way of saying, your dreams are excessive, your desires unworthy, and my authority decides what's too much. In contrast, Meri's decision to step up financially said, your worth is not dictated by her control, your joy is worth investing in, and I will not let manipulation win. That clash of actions became a microcosm of the larger war that tore this family apart. As the timeline continues, the cracks between Christine and Robyn widen. The facade of cooperation vanishes, replaced with open disdain. Christine no longer hides her suspicion. She voices it, she lives it, and ultimately she acts on it by leaving. In hindsight, the wedding incident looks like one of the final nails in the coffin, a moment when the hierarchy of power was laid bare. Christine's children, like Aspyn, were minimized and mocked, while Robyn's children were quietly elevated. The double standard wasn't speculation, it was on display for all to see. And this is the haunting thought that lingers after the wedding confetti settled. If one daughter's wedding could spark such venom, what else happened behind closed doors? How many moments of joy were clipped by Robyn's controlling hand? How many dreams were shrunk to fit into her version of reasonable? The wedding didn't just reveal tension, it revealed the truth. That the Brown family was never built on equal footing, and that the imbalance was always waiting to explode. And explode it did, leaving a trail of broken relationships, bitter words, and a legacy not of unity, but of division. Thanks for watching.